tuning into the source. Your source for celebrity news. Hey yo, thanks for tuning into the source, your source for celebrity news. Check this out. As you know, Mariah Carey has had one of the most iconic and accomplished careers in the music business. For example, she sold over 220 million records worldwide, received 5 Grammy Awards, 19 World Music Awards, 10 American Music Awards, 15 Billboard Music Awards, and she was also inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2020. Mariah also holds the Guinness World Record for having the most weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and for having the highest charting holiday song by a solo artist. Yet and still, Mariah Carey has just proven that no matter how accomplished and celebrated you are as an artist, your teenage child just doesn't give a cuff and will throw you out of their room with the quickness when they're playing video games and streaming live with their friends. Watch this.
Here.
There she is.
What are y'all talking about? That's my sister.
I know, I just want to get everyone's hopes up.
Why are y'all all okay? Y'all need to get out now. Just everybody get out. Mom, I can see you.
Okay.
They're saying, hi, Mariah, I love you. Oh, my God.
Hi, you guys, I love you.
Hello, Miss Carey.
Hi, Mrs. Carey.
Can y'all please get out, please?
Us get out?
Yes, please.
Hey, Mrs. Carey.
Wait, Rocky, what the smell, Junior?
Rocky, can we say hi?
No, Junior. Get out of my room.
Rocky, can we say hi?
Rocky, Rocky.
Listen, kids don't be caring. All they know is you're over 25, which makes you the crypt keeper. You're old as hell. Please, get out of my room. You're ruining my reputation. Let me tell you something. If there's one thing that kids will do, it's humble you. Because I don't care what you have done in life. I don't care how many accomplishments you've had. To them, you're a nobody. And when you walk into their room and they're playing Roblox, they're gonna be like, yo, get out of here, skedaddle, you loser. And since we're talking about kids, let me also share this. The other day, model, video vixen, former unclothed dancer, and singer Jhonni Blaze was supposed to give a motivational talk at Cedar Grove Middle School. Jhonni hoped that by going to talk to the young girls at the school and giving them a few donations, she could inspire them to keep pushing forward towards success. However, when Jhonni arrived at the school's campus, things quickly went left when the principal of the middle school allegedly blocked Jhonni Blaze from talking to the young girls at the school because of the shape of her body. According to Jhonni, the administrators at the school told her that she was way too buxom, voluptuous, and curvaceous to chat with the kids.
Principal, I believe, told the lady that I couldn't go because of my body shape, not because of my image, my body shape, to talk to 11 to 14-year-old girls. So I was very, very upset about it, and I went back to go get more stuff. So I didn't go in, get the receipt and go and send the stuff back. So they called me. And they were like, I could pull up so they can talk to me and stuff, and I can still give the kids stuff. So I'm a little emotional and happy at the same time. Sometimes how you respond to things, even though you're offended, how you respond can still lead and put you in a position to still do something positive. So because of how I reacted, wasn't mad or anything, I just expressed myself because my body shape should not matter. The way I dress, I'm actually going to the school like this. Don't judge people, and I'm just proud that how I responded, I'm still able to get to the little girl. So I will see you guys soon.
Listen, I'm a firm believer that when you work around kids, you should dress as modestly as possible. But, and this is a very big but, some women, especially black women, are just naturally curvaceous and voluptuous. So, they could put on a muumuu and you would still see how shapely they are. You can't hide it. So, with that being said, I'm not a fan that the school told Jhonni that she couldn't speak to the young girls who were between the ages of 11 and 14 because she was too shapely. To me, that's discrimination. And on top of that, she has on a pair of overalls and a Rugrats t-shirt. I mean, what do you want the woman to put on? She wasn't trying to walk in there all scantily clad wearing some bodycon dress with a tig old bitties hanging out. I mean, she's going in for a casual talk. She's dressed for a casual talk. Now, if Jhonni Blaze had tried to roll into that school rocking the Erykah Badu-esque Big Booty costume, then it'd be a different story. Yo, check out Erykah Badu celebrating the black body with all of its curves and swerves on stage the other day.
Saw on the front view, giving Deacon Johnson in my good view. I'm so happy, happy like me. Hey, on the third day, hey,
Erykah Badu performed Annie Ain't Got No Panties On, a few people were taken aback by the performance, and they jumped online and went on the attack, saying things like, "Oh my goodness, Erykah Badu is mocking BBLs, and Erykah Badu needs to be canceled because she's body shaming other women." Listen, here's the thing. There are certain artists like Erykah Badu who are out here operating on a higher level, and if you're a low vibrational being who doesn't have a clue as to what she's doing, you might want to be quiet and ask some questions before you jump online making dumb statements. Because if you had done your research, you would realize that Erykah Badu wasn't body shaming anybody with this performance, and that this was actually a social commentary on how black women's bodies have been viewed and sometimes skewed by the gazing, sometimes degrading eye of others throughout history. For example, Sarah Bartman was a beautiful black South African woman who lived during the late 18th and early 19th centuries, and during the slave trade, Sarah was taken from her homeland and brought to Europe, where she was exhibited in freak shows under the name Hottentot Venus because of her physique, particularly her large buttocks, which European audiences considered exotic and objectified. They stood around her like she was an animal on a farm, and they would sit there and be like, "Oh my goodness, have you ever seen something so big, large, and round?" As a result, Sarah was displayed inhumanely in both Britain and France, and even after her death in 1815, her body was dissected and her remains, including her skeleton and her buttocks, were displayed in museums in France for over a century. So similar to the way that Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance had layers upon layers upon layers in it that you needed to decode, so do Erykah Badu's performances. So if you're one of the people who has done it, please do me a favor. Stop jumping online talking about, "Oh my goodness, Erykah Badu is body shaming black women." Now, similar to the way that Europeans used to objectify Sarah Bartman, actor Terrence Howard says that P. Diddy, aka the Diddler, used to invite him over to his crib and just stare at him as if he was some exotic creature that he just had to have.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, he wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman.
Okay, so after Terrence Howard said that he went over to Diddy's house and Diddy was over there looking at him like he was a sugar smack, a whole lot of people ran with the story and started posting headlines like Diddy tried to take Terrence's manhood, and Terrence Howard says that Diddy tried to smash. My question is this: is Terrence Howard over there being messy? Because to me, there's a difference between Terrence's assistant saying that Diddy wanted to smash and Diddy actually trying to smash. Listen, let me know down below. Do you think that Terrence Howard is over there being messy for views? Or do you think, nah, Sauce, Diddy was trying to smash? And speaking about views, the other day Terrell Owens was in an Uber, and while he was in the Uber there was a flash flood, and Terrell got stuck under an underpass in the city. Now, as the water was rising and rising and rising, Terrell jumped online to let everybody know that he was trapped in the Uber and to also share his harrowing experience.
I am in the car and stuck.
Yeah, it's
The water's flooding. I'm about to swim out this mug in a minute. Oh my God, this is crazy. Look at this, y'all. I am in the car stuck. I'm stuck under this overpass. The driver tried to drive through this water and we got stuck. We need some help. I have no idea what street this is. I have no idea what street. I know I'm in India now. I can't even see that street. Yo! I'm about to swim for it in a minute. We're in this car under the overpass. The car is flooding. Like the water is up to the door. We're stopped. That the battery is dead. Like nothing. The car stopped. We're like literally in the middle of water. Bro, look at this, bro. Look at the car, bro. This is the car. I'm literally my knees. I'm inside the car. The water is filling up with water. At some point, I'm about to just jump out and probably swim. Look back there, bro. We're in water.
Now, after Terrell Owens shared that clip on social media, mad people jumped online and accused Terrell Owens of exaggerating the situation worse than this news reporter exaggerated their situation.
But first, the severe flooding here in the Northeast as more rain continues to fall today. NBC's Michelle Kaczynski, I guess she's in the canoe, is in Wayne, New Jersey this morning.
Hey,
Michelle, good morning to you.
Good morning. Well, obviously we're getting a nice break from the rain, but not the flooding. This is essentially now a part of the Passaic River in this neighborhood. It rushed in yesterday through the streets, and it's really tough to control a canoe or a boat when you're out in it.
No, this chick did not break out the whole canoe for like 4 inches of water. Anyhow, after Terrell Owens dropped that clip of him trapped in the Uber, mad people jumped in the comment section and they were like, yo, if you don't just get out of that car and walk. For example, one person was like, man, get out and walk. The water's shallow. Everything ain't for the internet. And then somebody else was like, okay, first off, there's no need to swim when you can walk. LOL. And then after that, somebody else came through and was like, he's so extra, talking about he's gonna have to swim for it. LMAO. Man, if you don't roll up your pants and get to walking, I don't know, because you know they say, no matter how shallow the water looks, when you get caught in a flash flood, do not get out of the car, because they're like, yo, you could think it's 2 inches, and then you step out of the car and it's like 8 inches. Next thing you know, you're washed away by a current. Listen, let me know in the comment section below. Do you believe that T.O. was over there exaggerating? Alright, so peep this. The other day, a woman went out to the anti-Trump Save America protests. And after the protest, she jumped online and shared her thoughts and suggestions about how the protest could be better and more family friendly. She basically said that in her opinion, the protest would be far better if there were some bouncy castles for the kids and a lot more singing. Now, after she said that, the internet went wild and they were like, yo, do you not understand that this is a protest and not a carnival? Cuff wrong with you. As a matter of fact, check out what Tabitha from over at Tabitha Speaks had to say about the situation.
White women, what's wrong with y'all? No, seriously, what's wrong with y'all? So all across the United States on yesterday, people got out to protest Donald Trump, Elon Musk, JD Vance, the Trump administration, the Republicans, and what they are doing to this country and our democracy. And this white woman went to a protest, and this is what she posted on Threads. Thoughts on my first protest. 1, my kid was bored. I don't think it would be too hard to arrange a bouncy castle or something. 2, people laughed at my sign, and so I made some friends, and that was nice. 3, I don't know. I think there should be more singing. Overall, she gives it an 8 out of 10, and she would do it again. People are losing rights. People are losing jobs. People are losing thousands upon thousands of dollars. People are losing democracy, freedom. People are being shipped off to prisons in El Salvador. And she wants a bouncy castle at the protest that she attends because her child is bored. And she wants some singing at the protest. Now you know her comment section is in shambles. Black women are getting her together. White women are getting her together. And she's down in the comments doubling down. Somebody told her, just stay home next time. And she responded and said, how would staying home help save people? How would a bouncy castle help save people? Clearly, she is ignorant and uninformed, Because if black people had been at those protests yesterday in large numbers, this could have been what her and her child could have been subjected to at the protest. And this, or this, maybe some of this, and this, and some of this. Lord, the white woman wants a bouncy castle at the protest. You can't make this shit up.
So the white lady that asked for a bouncy house at the next protest because, you know, she thinks that they need kid-friendly events out there, I don't think she's wrong. I think the problem is, and then some people said she's tone deaf. No, the fact is that is the tone of their protests. When they're out there, it is this nice casual event. Everybody is just chilling. They could have bouncy houses at their protests because they're not met with the same aggression. There's no military presence. There's no police shooting people down. There's not the scary feeling that someone's going to take you out just for looking any type of way. Their protests have a different tone than ours. Anytime we're out there, it's not a safe environment. They are waiting to arrest people. They are waiting to cause harm to people. Any little thing is going to be a problem when we're out there. But it's not the same for them. They're wanting bouncy houses because that's the tone. They're allowed to protest without the fear of losing their lives. And that's a glaring difference, and that's the conversation. Not that she was tone deaf or we're tone deaf. It's just two different tones. When they protest, it's one way. When we protest, it's another way. That's just the fact, and that is the absolute reason that we're in this whole situation. America treats some people one way, and other people, well, black people, indigenous people, a completely different way. Carry on.
Look, here's the thing. I'm not shocked nor surprised that the white woman jumped online, gave a Yelp review on a protest, and requested a bouncy castle. Because, due to white privilege, the lived experience of many white people in this country is vastly different than the lived experience of black people in this country. And for her, a protest equals a walk in the park, a Starbucks latte, and a few hey hey, ho hos, Donald Trump has got to go's. When we all know that if masses of black people had in fact gone out to protest on the 5th, the tear gas probably would have been flying and the troops would have been called out to contain all of the black people. And unfortunately, this is part of the reason why things are the way they are. Because many white people cannot even fathom the inequities that black people face on an everyday basis. For example, a lot of them don't comprehend what it means when we say that we're discriminated against every day because they've never experienced it. And they certainly don't understand the real consequences that occur in communities when statistics show that a white man with a criminal record is more likely to get a call back from a job than a black man without a criminal record. I mean, it means absolutely nothing to them because it doesn't affect them. Source, can you please show everybody the job statistics when it comes to like having a criminal record?
I hired a pair of young white men and a pair of young black men, and for each pair, I randomly assigned one individual in the pair a criminal record. What this means is none of the young men in the study who were posing as job applicants actually had criminal records in real life. But for the purposes of these applications, they communicated to employers that they had a felony conviction. So looking first at the outcomes for white testers, we see that about 34% of whites with no criminal record received a callback or job offer, compared to just 17% of whites with a criminal record. So we see that criminal record reduces employment opportunities by about 50%. In the case of black testers, 14% of those with no criminal background received a callback or job offer, relative to just 5% of blacks with a criminal record. A black applicant with no criminal background received callbacks or job offers at about half the rate of an equally qualified white applicant. But the most surprising finding was really related to blacks with no criminal background relative relative to whites with a felony conviction. We find that a white applicant with a felony conviction fared just as well, if not better, relative to a black applicant with a clean record. This suggests that being black in America today is essentially like having a felony conviction in terms of one's chances of finding employment.
Okay, so I'm sharing all of this information to help me say that you cannot expect a white woman with a different lived experience to approach a protest the same way you would, because she's looking at it through a whole different paradigm. Her life is a different world from where you come from. So I'm saying all of this to say that instead of jumping online and just automatically calling her an ignoramus for wanting the bouncy castle, perhaps try teaching her, because she doesn't know. She should know, but she doesn't know. And I'm also going to say this. The fact that she was at least out there trying to protest does in fact show that she has a willingness to want to help. So, to everybody who's jumping in her comment section calling her a dimwit, don't do that, because that's not going to help the situation. What you can do is try to steer her in the right direction. 1, tell her absolutely no Yelp reviews after a protest. And 2, absolutely never ever no bouncy castles at a protest. Let's start there, and then we can see if we can work our way up. Now, having said that, let me also say this to some of my white brothers and sisters. It's not all y'all, but there are some of y'all that are just unaware of the world around you. And the onus should not be on black people to teach y'all about racism. I mean, open your eyes and look around you. Leave your neighborhood and see what is happening in the world that you live in. Because you just don't know how many white people I have gotten into conversations with. And when the conversation gets on to racism, I'll be talking about something and they'll be like, oh my God, I did not know that. Had I known that, I would have handled the whole situation differently. I mean, you learn something new every day. And I'll be looking at them like, yo, how in the world do I know that Mao Zedong oppressed the people in China? I don't live in China, but I pay attention to the world that I live in and the people who live in that world around me. I mean, for real, it's 2025. Why am I still living in a world where white girls walk up to me and want to touch my hair? They're like, oh my goodness, can I touch your hair? That's crazy. Like when you wet it, it shrinks. It's crazy. Listen, let me know down below. What are your thoughts about the woman who went to the anti-Trump protest and gave it an 8 out of 10 type Yelp review online? Why? Because there was no bouncy castle. And last but not least, comedian Cory Holcomb says that he believes that Will Smith does indeed like guys, and he also claims that closeted men like Will Smith are the reason why he hasn't been given the opportunities that he deserves in Hollywood, because guys like Will Smith don't want Cory to see them with their boyfriends.
Now, there are celebrities who have accepted the poly and non-monogamous relationships. Some we know, Will Smith and Jada, they've been open about they have an open relationship.
But Will like guys.
Huh?
Will like guys.
How you know?
I live in LA. Does that make sense to you?
No.
I live in Los Angeles. There's a lot of opportunities I don't get because the guys don't want me to see them with their boyfriends. And I've suffered from that. It's like everybody know anyway. Everybody know anyway. So I'm saying like, do you think me saying Will like guys, because I said it and I can't take it back.
Yeah.
Because I believe it. I know it for the most part.
Okay.
By me saying that, I hope it doesn't strike a nerve in anybody, but I'm saying I live in LA.
Yeah.
And there's a lifestyle that is kept quiet.
A secret society.
Yeah. And it's like people like me suffer from this lifestyle because of the shame that some guys have of how they like to move. And I don't think that however you move is something you should hold against me. I think it's unfair.
Now, after Cory Holcomb said what he said about not getting opportunities in Hollywood based on the fact that he believes that a whole bunch of people in Hollywood don't want him to know their deepest, darkest secrets, a lot of people were like, oh please. For example, the comment section looked a little something like this. One person was like, so it's not possible that you're not getting the opportunities because you say stuff like this and people just don't want to work with you? And then somebody else was like, Cory Holcomb is Cory Holcomb's biggest obstacle in the industry. And then, last but not least, somebody else came through and was like, men who are obsessed with another man's sexuality makes me look a little deeper at them. I don't know. Corey Holcomb's an interesting case because while some people find him to be totally hilarious, other people believe that he doesn't get the opportunities like Cat Williams, Martin, and some of these other comedians because this dude right here is mad misogynistic and offensive at the same time. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you believe that Corey Holcomb is right when he says that he doesn't get the opportunities that he deserves in Hollywood because all of these people in Hollywood are scared of him learning their secrets? Or do you think he just doesn't make the cut because he doesn't make the cut? Okay, so let me ask you a question. If you were cast in a movie and you needed a comedian and the comedians that rep for the role were Cat Williams, Martin Lawrence, Damon Wayans, Mike Epps, Kevin Hart, Michael Blackson, and Corey Holcomb, which comedian would you hire to pull off the hilarious one-liners in your movie? Let me know. Listen, let me know what you think about everything that we discussed in today's video, and while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to The Source, your source for celebrity news. Peace.